Welcome to rSlash Today I F'd Up, where OP almost kills himself with peanut butter. Today I F'd up by convincing my entire apartment building a velociraptor was on the loose. I was a student studying at a big university that had some large luxury apartment buildings nearby for students to live in after their freshman year. In my building, there were around 400 apartments across 8 floors. I lived in one of these apartments with 3 roommates. Modern gym, stainless steel appliances, nice place. The F up starts with me not wanting to drink my face off for once on a Saturday and wake up the next morning feeling like a train wreck, and instead wanting to have a, quote, wholesome night of fun. So instead of going out, I decided to post signs around the building that a dinosaur, specifically a velociraptor, was on the loose. Harmless, right? I spent some time putting this flyer together. Attention, blank apartment residents, regarding velociraptor attack. It has come to our attention that on the 20th of December 2013, an unknown resident of floor 7 was fatally mauled by what we presume to be a velociraptor. Velociraptor mongoliensis, colloquially known as a raptor. Sightings have also been reported on floors 2, 5, and 8. We offer our condolences to anyone who may have been affected by this tragic occurrence. We urge all residents to be on the lookout for suspicious raptor activity. Things to look for include, but are not limited to, bloodstains, large reptilian tracks, loud reptilian growling and/or hissing, velociraptor mating call, velociraptor urine stains, and excrement. Please maintain extreme caution at all times. Velociraptors are fearless, deadly creatures. We urge you to ask security for velociraptor repellent or to report any suspicious activity. I figured people would laugh about it. Then I walked down to the apartment building's lobby to use their free printing and make about 100 copies. Finally, starting at about 9 p.m., I spent the next 2 hours posting the sign on various doors around the building. For better or worse, it was Saturday and people were getting drunk. About halfway through my adventure, as I was getting into the elevator to change floors, I saw a girl dressed to go out, makeup done, on the phone with someone. Tears streaking her mascara as she struggled to convey to someone that there had been a velociraptor attack and that she didn't know what to do. Me at the time thought this was really funny and kept going, and ultimately, after posting my 100 flyers, I went back to my apartment, watched some TV, and went to bed. That Sunday, I spent most of my time doing homework and not leaving my room. On Monday while in class, my roommate's group text lit up with, "Does anyone know what this is?" It was a pile of 4 notices of lease violation, suggesting someone had caused a, quote, disturbance on the property, and that there would be a fine. Me, being fairly young, I got spooked, bounced from class, and biked to my apartment to take care of it. I grabbed the notices and went to the leasing office. I'll shorten it immensely, but the conversation can be summarized as such. "Hi, I got these notices at my apartment today about causing a disturbance. I was wondering what it's about." The apartment agent says, "Oh, so it's you." He calls out to someone outside his office. "Get in here, other apartment agent. It's the dinosaur boy." The other apartment agent, a guy trying too hard to be serious. "Do you know what you did last night?" "Yeah, I just posted some funny and clearly harmless signs that there was a dinosaur on the loose. Also, it was just me, so don't include my roommates here." "Okay, just you, but it was neither funny nor harmless. Do you know how many calls security got? I had parents calling in demanding to know about the situation. We had students asking if there was a bunker to hide in." Me, a little bewildered. The sign said velociraptor, dinosaur, clearly extinct. It was just a joke. How did people take that seriously? "Look, I know velociraptors have been dead for over 10,000 years, but you caused a disturbance, and I still have to fine you." 10,000 years, man. There would be no winning with this guy. I asked him what the fine was, $100. Ran back up to write a check and paid it. Note, they apparently knew it was someone in my apartment who posted the signs by following security footage. To this day, I wonder how many fully functioning adults at prestigious universities think velociraptors are real. That they aren't dinosaurs but are instead a vicious reptile that people illicitly kept as pets, or that you can go see at the zoo. I also occasionally wonder about the panic I caused, thinking about the girl who was likely on the phone with her parents, and all her parents probably heard were, "Someone died, on the loose, don't know what to do." I still laugh about it. Clearly, OP, the next step would have been to get one of those inflatable T-Rex costumes and run down the hall terrorizing all the drunk college students. Today I effed up by accepting a proposition for a threesome. It's a perfect summer night in 2018. I'm leaving a job that I hate with my life, freshly broken up with, ready to throw on my leather and passionately hug anyone in arm's reach. I turn up to my local watering hole right before 1 a.m., toss back a couple beers, and post up alone on the outskirts of the main bar. Last call rings out. The bar is mobbed. I lock eyes with a moderately attractive girl who approaches me shortly after. She's equal parts drunk and horny and doesn't hesitate to let me know. She's celebrating a friend's birthday with a squad of girls, one of whom sidles up to us and starts hitting on me hard. Moderately attractive girl is totally fine with this, and the friend would land her on the higher end of the BMI chart, leading me to believe I'm being hit with a bait and switch. They swiftly disprove that theory by literally asking if I want both of them. Worth noting that this is the only time I've been anywhere near a threesome before or since, so I jumped at the chance. Next thing I know, we're in a cab on the way back to whoever's house the birthday pregame was. There is alcohol everywhere. They're feeding me shots and cold buffalo chicken dip like it's my last day on earth. Some girl is crying on the couch. My drunk self picks up the signal that an ex-boyfriend is the cause of the girl's sorrow. Having been recently broke up with, I know exactly where her head is at. Having done far too many shots, I'm not scared to console this crying stranger. Soon I will be advice champion and passionately hug every girl in the house. I launch into my speech, hitting every point she so desperately needs to hear. You're so much better than him. He obviously doesn't deserve you. You'll look back and laugh at this in a month. I'm now starting to notice that the cheers and applause I was waiting for are actually all death stares, even a few drop jaws. As it turns out, the girl's boyfriend didn't break up with her. No, he effing died. The guy died in a car accident, and I'm telling her she'll be laughing about it in a month. Nobody passionately hugged anybody that night. And then we have the perfect reply from Giraffe Factory down in the comments. Nobody effed anybody that night? That's clearly untrue. You effed yourself. Our next Reddit post is from Argon Pro. This just happened a couple hours ago. Just a bit of context to start out. I'm moving into a flat with some great people in a couple of months, and they invited me around for a few drinks as it was one of their birthdays. It was a bunch of about 20 of us, and it was kind of a who knows who type situation. It was a great time. Everyone was getting along well. Quite a few drinks, dancing, the usual stuff. I met this girl named Jess. Not her real name. And we got talking, and she had the most amazing teeth and smile I've probably ever seen. Fast forward a couple hours, and we're all heading home. I'm pretty bad with women, so classic me, I don't make a move and just start walking home. It's about a 20-minute walk across town, so nothing too bad, but not ideal. We leave at the same time, and we found out we kind of walk halfway home and split ways there. We're stumbling along with some playful banter, and she jokingly tries to trip me up. I'm drunk, but not that bad, so I manage not to slam the concrete. In return, I jokingly trip her up, and here's the F up. She falls like a 20-meter tall tree straight as a pole and slams the concrete. I feel so bad and instantly picked her up. She has a bloody nose, and I'm freaking out because I've just slammed this gorgeous girl into the ground. She gets up, asks is her face okay, and as she says it, I see her 2 front teeth are both missing. My heart sank. I felt terrible. Never felt so bad in my life. I let her know the situation, and she bursts out crying. I call an ambulance and we get to the emergency room where we sit for 4 hours waiting to be seen, to be eventually told go home and go to see the dentist tomorrow. In the 4 hours, we did get to know each other relatively well considering the situation. I had a mixture of feeling terrible, but also how the F does this happen? You only ever hear of these stories. I pay for the taxi home as it's the least I can do, and she invited me in for a tea with her face still effed up. We chat for a couple hours about random stuff, and as I leave, I say it'd be cool to hang out sometime. And she actually agrees to it, but once her face is in better shape. So when OP gets back to his apartment, all the guys there are like, "So, I saw you go home with that girl. Did you smash?" And the guy winks at him and is like, "Yeah, I smashed." Our next Reddit post is from TheGemScout. So let's preface this. There's an episode of 2.5 Men where Jake melts a jar of peanut butter into liquid, then he offers Charlie some. So I'm at my friend's house. Let's call the friend Mason, and we're watching reruns of the show. We see that fateful scene, and Mason thinks it'd be a good idea to dare me to drink peanut butter. 2 things before we proceed. 1, our dares are intense, but we never refuse them. 2, while it's apparently weird, I despise peanut butter. Not that I'm allergic or anything, but I really hate the stuff. Knowing that refusing the dare is not an option, or else I'm going to get pranked to no end over it, I decide we should just get it over with now. So my friend hands me the tallest coffee mug he owns and says, "Get to scooping," while he laughs in my face. Once he's made me fill the cup with peanut butter, he puts it in the microwave for like 1.5 minutes, and then motions for me to get the cup before it hardens. Here's where my F up begins. I drink coffee often, so I'm not very careful about it being hot, and assume it's much cooler than my typical coffee as I heat that thing up for about 2 minutes or more before I drink it. 1 minute is nothing to me, and seeing as I'm not trying to taste this disgusting flavor of nutty origin, I try to slam it down as fast as possible. Actually, the biggest mistake of my life, as not only does peanut butter heat up much faster than a typical liquid, it's very thick and insanely sticky. It was like Satan came in my mouth, but it was stuck there and I couldn't get it out. My friend is still laughing his butt off, and I'm screaming at the top of my lungs as it goes further into my throat, and I begin choking on the molten liquid itself. At this level, I'm thinking, I'm choking on lava, and I really hope I don't die because of the one time I eat peanut butter. In my suffering, I finally stammer out, "Take me to the ER!" And his face immediately changed. I go for the milk we have in the fridge so I can walk out the door, but lucky me, we have not 1 drop of milk, nor any other liquid other than effing A1 sauce. So I grab the sprayer in the kitchen sink and start blasting it in my mouth so as to mitigate the damage. But I can already tell that I've got some pretty severe burns. Flash forward to the hospital, and thanks to my idiocy, I have 2nd-degree burns all over my mouth and throat. And after almost a week, I'm still in constant pain. I can't taste anything except pain. I have burns on and around my tongue, my gums, the roof of my mouth, my throat, and can barely sleep due to the intensity of the pain. F my life. And F peanut butter. Never drink it or you'll end up like me. This comment from Failure in Space. That sounds like a pretty nutty thing to do. Please don't hurt me. Today I effed up by unwrapping a condom. So at university, as a part of their safe sex promotion, we get given condoms in our Welcome to University packs for students who live in the university-run accommodation. I'd always chuck these in my drawer for, quote, future use if the situation requiring them ever arose. It never has, and so I took them home over summer and they've been sitting in my drawers at home ever since. Anyway, I'm on inter-semester break right now, so I, a 19-year-old male, was back home, and poking around in my old stuff, found some of them. I decided I'd open the wrapper since I'd never actually used one before or tried putting one on. My parents took me out of sex ed for religious reasons, and I thought it might be good to try one on and try passionately hugging myself with it, so I promptly opened the wrapper. As I discovered, and the majority of the sexually active population probably know, condoms come kind of lubed already, and for whatever reason, I took a smell since I could kind of tell it smelled weird. When I did this, I realized that I had not only smelt this scent before, but knew exactly how it tasted. I have memories of chewing on uninflated balloons quite a lot when I was younger. Same with rubber bands. And the one memory in particular which became very vivid was of finding a balloon in my parents' room and happily chewing on it. Oh no. Except now I realize it wasn't a balloon and was, in fact, a used condom. I felt pretty sick then. I wish I could delete memories and that I never remembered or realized this. Oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no. That was r/Today I F'd Up, and unless you want to be a total F up, hit that subscribe button.